So let's talk about Fearless at 50, right? This is my 50th year, and we have to do things at 50 because potentially we have less life in front of us than we have behind us. And this is when we can start anything, do anything. And this is the most wonderful time in the world to do that. But we have to make that decision that that's what we're going to do. And if you don't know me, I'm Dominique Anderson. Do a few things. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm also a consultant in the community development space, and I'm a thinker and I'm a doer. If I had to really give myself any title, I'm a thinker and a doer. If you're new here, I'd love to have you here. I'd love for you to subscribe. And if you're not, then buckle up because we're talking doing it. We're doing it after 50. And honestly, it really should be called, doing it scared, because every age is when you're like, what the hell? And then you start doing it. February 10th, I turned 50, and I don't know when that happened, how that happened, but apparently the world kept going and I turned 50, right? And so I had to figure out, like, who are you? What do you want to do? I've lived several lives, right? I've had businesses. I've been a teacher. I was a publicist. I've done quite a few things in 50 years. I've crammed a lot into 26 years of work. That's literally how long I've been working, 26 years. But I mean, honestly, before that, I was doing a crap ton of things. I was always a hustler. And I had to figure out, like, what is 50? I mean, 50 was impactful for me. Once I hit it, I was like, what the hell? And so I had to figure out what am I doing? What's next? And so I doubled down on my consulting. I was in a role, for all intents and purposes. It was a, kind of glossy role in a place, and it turned out to be a toxic hell. And that was it. And so I made that decision, had some stuff going on with health in my family, and just realized, like, life is too short. And then wanted to figure out, like, what's the next piece. And so at some point, I restarted my consulting firm, did that, and had to realize, like, this is the thing. I need to help developers, small scale developers, figure out where's money, where do you go get it, how do you get it? And there was a translation problem. Spent a lot of time on the table side looking at these developers' projects and having people say, we can't do that because they've never done a project. And you go, well, how the hell are they going to do a project if we don't give them some money? I've also been on the side of looking at developers' projects, and they were abysmal. You have to go, look, you got to fix this. This isn't going to work. They're never going to give you money if it looks like this, right? So I've been on both sides. And so that was a natural progression of the work that I wanted to do, because I want more. We always talk about, we want affordable housing. We need affordable housing. How are we going to get more affordable housing? And then we don't fund it, or we don't ever try to fix the root cause of why there's not more development happening or more people fixing older homes, because shout out to that as well. But, my best friend is such a cool human. She has a podcast. She's a super Raiders fan. And so she does Raiders fan radio and with two other guys, and they're really smart, and it's cool, and it's become a thing. And that's been impactful too, because it's like, yeah, people are really out here living their lives. And what are you doing? How are you living your life? What is making you show up? And so one of the things that gives me joy is the fact that I'm a huge closet nerd. Like, I'm a super closet nerd, right? Like, I like a lot of tech and science and animals. And when I was 9, we started volunteering. It's now called the Adventure Science Center in Nashville, but it was the Cumberland Science Museum. And so my jam was the animals. I always did the animal room, right? And I got really good at it and used to go on expeditions and find animals. I loved it, and I thought I'd be a vet. And then one of the animals died, and I don't do death. And it was just, I was like, swerve. But probably in retrospect, that was also a choice of, like, avoidance, right? So fast forward, we go to get my daughter, like, a pet, a gerbil. This was a few years ago. And we walk in and there's ferrets. And I was like, boom, okay, this is why you shouldn't have adult money, because then you can get a ferret. So those ferrets, Tito and Jackson, intentional. So when we go to the vet, they go, oh, Tito Jackson's here. And I go, yes. So, as I'm moving around doing all the things, because again, remember, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I do a lot of things, right? So from Dominic Anderson consulting, other things, right? And then that led to the GrowthCommons app. But as I'm moving about, I have to think about these ferrets, right? Regulation says you can't fly with ferrets, so you're going to have to drive those ferrets. And so where do they go? Who are the vets? If I'm in Georgia, where are the vets? If I'm in Tennessee, if I'm in Memphis, if I'm in Nashville, so I have to look at all these things. So I have to keep all these pieces and parts, right? And I was like, what's the app? Where's the app where you can keep all your notes? So you have notes about the ferret, you have notes about their care, something you can hand off. Because then now I'm at this point where I'm like, okay, we need ferret sitters and all these random first world things, right? And so then I was like, I'm gonna build that. And this is literally the best and worst time, right? Like I know AI is it's got a whole thing and we're on a path, right? But this is a time where you can build so many things and you can solve people's problems, including your own, through technologies. I've I let my nerd flag fly. Now I just built Burrow, which it'll be somewhere on the screen. I don't know. I'll figure it out post production. But Burrow, it's the address is getburrow.co.co. And that's where I built that in not a lot of time, but I built this app so that you can do that and it'll grow into things and has different versions and iterations. But like I did it and then I launched it. Horrifying, right? That's the second app. The first SaaS product that we launched was GrowthCommons.co. Shameless plug, also will be on the screen somewhere. And that app is with the community development piece, right? And so it's for at that intersection. It's helping small scale developers build projects that are fundable. It helps funders get out of their way, and then it matches the two. And so at this point, as I'm building these apps and I'm launching these apps, the whole purpose of this video today was like, get out of your way at 50. And there's 1,000 videos on here that are like, you do it scared, do it at 50. All that's crap until you're ready. And that's at 50, that's at 22, that's at 18, that's at 6. Until you're ready to do it, you can't do it. But listen, I think this is my journey. My journey is like, how many things can I create? I'm a creator. I'm a fixer, right? So I like to build things, and then I like somebody else to grow them and do them. Like I'm the idea girl. And so I think I'm at a point in a path. I got back in the gym, so I'm getting surgeries and things like not pause. I'm not getting like vanity surgery, but fixing things with my body that need to be fixed, fixing things that I see in the world that I can fix incrementally. And it's not just about like, how much money can I make? That's a benefit, right? But I think this journey at 50 plus is really about, how can I leave this world better than I found it? How can I leave a better world for my daughter? How can I help her be the best version of herself? I swear to God, we bump heads on these things, but really, there are some things that I know, and some things my husband and I talk about this all the time. Like, and we tell her all the time, listen, we have 6 degrees amongst us, so we know a few things and we're not that old. And being Gen X is like the best thing, because really we're the first generation where we knew we started with technology. Like our generation got the technology. We saw the things start to shift. And so right now, this time is really, it's our reckoning. It's our time where we're like, we remember those things. Like we had in our house, my mom was always a big tech adopter. So we had a Commodore 64 and a VIC-20. If you don't know what those computers are, first of all, maybe you're not old enough to watch this, but also maybe you were never like a super tech nerd. My mom was a scientist. She was a science teacher, a registered zoologist, just a smart lady. And she luckily passed that on down. And so, this is the time for us Gen Xers like to realize things. And 50 doesn't mean that we're done. I keep reminding myself, and I'll remind you of that as well. But 50 is just our start. I don't know. I hope this helps somebody. I hope this gives you thoughts. I hope that whatever you're sitting on, you dust it off and you go get it, right? Because the time is now. We're not going to get any younger, but just because we're not as young as we were doesn't mean we can't get it.